Welcome, welcome, welcome to a to another installment of with Styles. Appreciate whomever has the time to follow my craziness. I really appreciate it. Um, it'd be nice if I had some live questions. If you have any questions on your mind about anything, um, from UK stuff to NFL, NBA, um, World Series. Being I'm an Astros fan, lifelong. Um, I don't like going to Game 7, but it is what it is. It's better to have a Game 7 than to not. I'm glad we're home, although that hasn't been the advantage this series. Hopefully, we come through tonight and bring another title home. Um, I lived through some rough years with my man Jose Cruz and Phil Garner and Hunter and Bass. So it is nice to finally, these last few years, see our team put in work. Um, but obviously, if you're watching or you're gonna watch later, you're here for the UK stuff more than the my fandom with the Astros. So I will start off with this because it's been unbelievably impressive. I am thoroughly. Hold on, I gotta open my window so it's gonna get loud. I am thoroughly impressed with the secondary. Man, those boys have really improved, and improvement has come in the run support. Our corners have been, I don't want to say horrible, but damn near horrible all year with run support, run fit. When the X or Z, doesn't matter, when the outside receiver was cracking on the safety, they were not doing a good job of fill and replace. If you watch any of Watching with Styles, you understand what I mean by field replace. They have done an unbelievable job at that. Eccles has become an even better corner with his attention to detail as far as run support. If he continues to do that, he will definitely be playing on Sunday because his cover skills are pretty darn good. I don't know what his 40 time is, but his technique, his man-to-man technique is pretty good, pretty solid. He's a competitor. Him and Corker are undervalued by many. And then my boy Mosley comes back from his injury. He's making some flash plays. Even Brown has improved his run support in the last couple of weeks, which is huge. That is so underrated that corners just can't be guys who are responsible for receivers. They just can't. They have to be willing to help their brothers in the run game. And Brown and Eccles proved this week, and Dort did it too, proved this week that they have learned from the previous games about their importance in the run game. And obviously they have gotten that from watching with Styles, which is not accurate, but I'm gonna give me those kudos. I I know that the DB coach has been showing that to how that they can help the team if they just improve with their eyes and run support and being a willing participant in the run game defensively. And they have done these last two games, the Georgia game, Arkansas and Georgia. The Arkansas game, they were good. The Georgia game, they was a little bit better. This game, they were damn near perfect. Every time there was a crackback on the safety, you can see their body lean coming downhill, trying to get help into the run game. Brown did it a couple times. Eccles did it at least 3 to 4. And Dort did it at least once that I can remember off the top of my head, which is key for our run defense getting better. That's the main reason. That's not the main reason. That is one big reason why our yards per carry has dropped tremendously over the last few weeks, as well as our linebackers doing a better job handling the gaps that they are supposed to handle. It seems like we have gone more into play side linebacker spilling it out. And what I mean by spill is when a blocker comes to you, and let's say the runner is coming from your right, instead of you keeping your right shoulder, or I guess instead of keeping your left shoulder free, when the runner's coming from your right, they are actually dipping that shoulder, keeping their right shoulder free, and dipping inside of the potential blocker, and spilling it like a water. Instead of the running back coming down the seam, he spills over the top of the rim, over the blocking lineman, and goes to the outside to another defender. It is low-key underrated how good our coordinators are. I really don't think fans really understand how good we are. And this is Coach White's first year calling plays. We had Coach Hood the previous years, but he has there hasn't been a fall off. And this is pretty much a new personnel, minus the front three, new secondary, one new linebacker. Well, take that back. If you call all of them, pretty much two new linebackers, replacing Josh and replacing Jones. And they have played really good ball from the start. We gave up a few big plays, and we still giving them up. But sometimes those big plays are their other team offensive coordinators making a great call too. That screen play was just a good play, a good call versus our defense. That was not on the players. That was not on anyone. That was just they called a perfect call for the scheme that we were running, and that happens. That's not the first time. It won't be the last. But as a whole, Coach White has been awesome. Coach Grant has created yet again, another scheme to maximize his talent that he's coaching. His brilliance is not as obvious and flamboyant as some of these passing coaches where you can see it, but from a real football head, you can see the wrinkles, the nuances that he's adding to the repertoire every week, how he's building on plays, how he's maximizing Lynn as a QB. And obviously Lynn gets a lot of credit too because he's been incredible. But Coach Grant is also putting them in a position to be incredible. There are some coaches who will try to fit a square peg in a round hole instead of morphing his offense to the talent, they would try to make the talent morph into his scheme. And that's detrimental on all levels, especially in college. But it's been a joy to watch this team. And as I beginning of the year, I said they would be 10-2 because the schedule was favorable. Instead, we're sitting 4-4, and that's really because of the flux at quarterback. If we had a healthy quarterback, not even Terry, let's just say we just had a healthy quarterback, we win that Mississippi State and South Carolina game, hands down. I don't care who's playing a quarterback. If they are healthy, we win those games. Period. Even if we lose the Florida game, with a healthy quarterback, we win those two games. And for our coaches, that bye week came at a perfect time. To give Coach Grand and Lynn a chance, an extra week to get ready. And this bye week comes at another crucial point for the Final Four games, because it gives us a chance to heal up again and gives us a real advantage against Tennessee, because this is what's going to happen. Tennessee is going to have these last three film to watch, and they're going to game plan pretty well, but they're only going to have a week to game plan. We have 2 weeks. We're going to add some wrinkles, I promise you, on offense, and we're going to add some wrinkles on defense. The defense has been playing, as I said earlier, very well. I can't say that enough. They have given us a chance to win every game. And now, with a healthy person, healthy player at quarterback, we are showing how good we are as a team. If we go 8-4, like I think we can, I'm going to just say it now, this season was better than last season. If you think about all the stuff we had to go through, if we go 8-4 this year, in my eyes, this is a better season than last season. And I'm not sure it's even close. For us, that means we will go, 6-1 with Lynn at quarterback? Because he is QB1, period. I don't care if Sawyer does play, because if Sawyer's healthy, I still want him in the game with Lynn, because that's another wrinkle to the offense. That just means Sawyer will play more of wide out, just split him out, and give that defense a coordinator a headache of trying to make calls, because you don't know who's going to go behind center, and you can't change personnel because we'll be running that in base personnel. I've said this many times. Even if Sawyer plays, and I think, like I said, if he's healthy, he should be in the game. But it doesn't mean he takes every snap, which is a nuisance for a defensive coordinator, because you can't get in a rhythm as a play caller on defense, because you don't know who's going to play quarterback. I personally love that option. I'm not sure if we're going to do that as an offense, but I would love to see it. Put them both in the game, and it doesn't matter. You can give Lynn the whole series and have Sawyer play receiver out there, just out on the edge, and go that route. I mean, there's so many. I couldn't think I was talking about. There's so many plays you can run. I would like to see it, but Lynn is definitely the starter, so to speak, from here on out. And that segues to my statement that I said I would I would talk about is that Lynn is very difficult to game plan against, period. Even as a one-dimensional scheme, because he has the possibility of throwing it. The thing that happened in the Georgia game that hurt us was the wind, was just I'm not sure it was windy. I thought it was windy, but just the fact that the rain was so bad and we was playing on grass, which means when that ball hits the ground, it's going to get moist again, that we couldn't throw it. The other thing is, and I say this all the time, just because one team finds a formula doesn't mean everybody can repeat it. It's not a repeat rinse type of thing. Because you know why? Because not everybody has the personnel that Georgia has. Everybody doesn't have the linebackers that Georgia have. Georgia has unbelievable speed at linebacker from sideline to sideline. Not everybody has that. Not everybody has the front four that's as fast as Georgia. So just because Georgia, so to speak, was able to contain Lynn, which I'm not sure if the weather had to do with it, more than just them being able to contain them. I think the environment, the conditions, not the environment, the conditions had more to do with that. And the reason why I say that is because of the counters that we have on each play and the fact that we are reading a person on the defensive side of the ball. We're not a wishbone team. Well, not even wishbone. Let me take that back. We are not a hold on, got an answer. We're not a straight line, downhill football team. We are a read team. So as a defense, it's a little difficult to quote unquote contain Lynn because he's reading a defender. So in essence, if you look at it, if we have 5 linemen, a tight end, that gets us to 6. And we have Lynn, which is 7. You always count the ball carrier because he has to make one guy miss. So he's responsible for one defender. If they have 7 guys in the box, we can win that. And if we run a read option, that means we have 8 men in the box because we have Rose, Smoke, or Rodriguez in the backfield. So they have 8 men in the box, and we have 8. One guy got to make a miss, and we're going to read one of those guys. So it's hard to, in essence, contain or do stuff as a defense to stop it. It's like the wishbone. It's hard, even though you know the wishbone is coming. It's hard to stop it because of alignment, or I'll just say assignment football. Everybody has to be on their P's and Q's defensively and handle their responsibility. One guy messes up in the wishbone can definitely get you. So with the zone read, if we get 7 men in the box, we really have a chance. And that's why it's hard to contain them. And with the scheme and with the play design we are using, stacking other plays on old plays, it's very difficult to game plan. Me looking at it as a defensive player, it's difficult. I mean, when they run that toss and then they fake the toss and then dump it to the receiver or the tight end, or fake the toss and run a counter, that one play is 3 to 4 plays. And if you mix it up like we have been, it's difficult. Missouri couldn't handle the counter play because they have seen the toss play, and everybody's overrunning to the toss, or Missouri defensive coordinator was game planning. He slanted a lot to the toss, and we ran that counter right behind it and was able to get our guard or tackle on that backside linebacker, and we were killing them. So now, as a defensive coordinator for Tennessee, what do you do? Because we can say from the outside looking in, up in the press box, all this stuff, when you see the guard and tackle pull, it's the counter. But you're asking an 18 to 22-year-old with 1 week of preparation to have the best eye discipline, to see the toss, see all that action going one way, but, oh, the guard and tackle is pulling, I need to go the other way. One false step by the linebackers is still over. All it takes is one false step. Now, the caveat to that is, oh, well, bring one of the safeties down. Well, we have shown the ability to fake the toss and dump it. So if the safety focused too much on the eye cannon in the backfield, we would dump it off to one of those receivers. Especially when we go 31, when we had the 2 receivers and Riggs as an H-back, you'll say, okay, well, man up on the receiver. Well, who's going to man up on Riggs? Because you're trying to drop an extra guy in the box. So does he play on man-to-man and play him respectably as a man and not try to come down and be an active participant in the counter? See, that's where you put the defense sort of in a bind. If Lynn can show, and his next progression is to throw that stick route more often or to throw underneath, even though the play is called to throw it deep, there was a couple times in the game Saturday where the underneath guy was wide open and he didn't throw it to him. If he would throw it to the underneath guy, then he becomes really dangerous. And then he makes Wagner even more dangerous in the deep game, or Ali. Because now you have to kind of respect that intermediate zone more than they have been. And that's why that stick route to Thomas was wide open on Saturday, because the defender didn't respect anything but the deep route. So they were playing off man the whole game. Even though it was playing zero coverage, they was playing off man, playing for the deep pass, because we haven't shown the ability to throw anything underneath. So those little 5-yard hitches were wide open all game, because those guys were playing for the deep pass because they thought that that's all we can do. So honestly, game plan in Lynn is more difficult than people giving it credit for, just because of the read option. If he was just getting back there running draw plays all the time, okay, yeah, that's easy. But the plays are not predicated on who's going to get the ball all the time. He's reading someone. So therefore, when you have to read someone, that means someone on defense can make a mistake and leave things open. We completely gashed in Missouri. And we completely gashed Arkansas. And I don't think Tennessee defense is better than Missouri's defense, if you ask me. Again, I'm going to say it yet again. Don't look at the score of that Tennessee-South Carolina game without digging into the game. There a lot of things happened in that game that allowed Tennessee to score those 41 points. And some of that was special teams. And some of that was short field. Just like the Georgia game. Georgia couldn't score on us until we gave them 2 short fields. When we was winning the field position battle in the first half, Georgia did nothing on us. So just that's what I hate by these pundits. Just looking at the game, because after the Georgia game, with the score 21-0, I saw a couple headlines talking about Georgia dominated us. Man, it wasn't even close to domination. Yes, Swift had a lot of yards, but he had a couple big plays. He had a few chunk yardage. That was the quietest 100 and whatever yards I've ever seen. I didn't even think he had that many. But they did not dominate us. Without those 2 short fields, I'm not sure Georgia scores more than 10, 13 points. So that score is very misleading. I'm not worried about Tennessee, even though I haven't really looked at even a half of their games this year. I've looked at bits and pieces of it, but I haven't really had the chance to really see a whole game. The most talented team on the field, period. And because of that, I think we should win them all. That doesn't mean we win them all. But talent-wise, it's undeniable how much talent we have. And scheme-wise, I'm telling you, Grant has done it again. Another quarterback, starting quarterback, and he adapts. So I don't personally see the angst of anything about Tennessee. If obviously the line won't come out the next week, it's gonna be interesting to see what the line is. If Tennessee is a favorite, man, that just will show yet again the amount of disrespect given to our program. Because even though we beat Missouri and we truly dominated them from start to finish, no one is really given, no one, that's all, I shouldn't say no one. I don't see a lot of credit given to us. I see a lot of hair scratching for the Missouri coaching staff. Coach Oldham, why did they not perform on the road, blah, blah, blah. Because they played us. Why can't we be the factor in that judgment? Why did it have to be someone else? We played our butts off that game, period. Coaching, and Missouri was beat from a player standpoint and from a coaching standpoint, all the way around. We beat them every phase of the game handily. Offense, defense, and special team, period. Play calling, period. Coaches' decision-making, period. Player decision-making, period. We beat them in every aspect of the game. X and O's, hit numbers, obvious numbers, obvious stats, hidden yards, all that we dominated. But where's this Kentucky team is really coming around. This Kentucky team has really galvanized and come together as a team after the adversity that they faced early in the season. I don't see those headlines. Why don't we get those headlines? It's not. And Missouri didn't play well. They should be playing better. Why are they not playing better? They show all this stuff on. No, where is it for us? Where is it? Where's the credit to our coaching staff? Where's the credit to our players? This team has really come together and turned around a season that could have been really bad. It could have been after that South Carolina game. It was like, whoa. But I saw on Twitter how Rose and Bowden was saying, stay with us, trust us. We're going to make this thing right. Coach Morrow made a statement. We're going to make this thing right. And they have made this thing right. We need to give everybody on this staff a lot of credit, because what they have done since that South Carolina game needs to be commended. We had a chance in that Georgia game. I mean, she's 0-0 at halftime. If we don't shank the punt, Georgia doesn't score their drive. So we had a little field position. We get them inside their 30. In those conditions, it was hard. And we sandwiched that game with 2 really good wins. I can't commend everybody on this team enough for what they have done since that first bye week, which means I have no doubt that they are going to come back in the second bye week and do something even more special. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see what we bring offensively and defensively. I can't wait to come back in a couple weeks in the film room and show these new wrinkles, because we are going to have something for UT. I promise you we will. Because Coach Pruitt is a good defensive mind. So he's going to have something for us, and I'm sure Coach Grant is going to have something for him. Enjoy this bye week. I'm at my destination. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. If you're watching this live or if you're watching it on replay, and if you can watch it live tomorrow, ask me some questions. Let's be interactive, and it'll be an even better broadcast. Thanks, guys, for watching.